Alright, welcome to a 1v1 on Semoskiy Winter. This game is Black and Gold versus Sterling Archer. We're going to see Oster on the left versus Soviets on the right. Lightning War, Close Air Support, and Defensive Doctrine versus Guard Motor Shock Rifle. Soviet Combined Arms. Looks like, honestly, I can barely even tell the game's been patched. It seems like pretty much the same stuff. All the same commanders still being fielded. Maybe people just haven't gotten used to the new options yet, or maybe there's just no reason to pick different commanders, I guess. Most of the changes were primarily to the way core units work anyway. No real commander changes, except of course the Sturm Tiger being in elite armor now, but
Engineers have secured the sector.
obviously that change is not present in this game. Gonna see a 3 Grenadier to 3 Conscript opening, both sides going for infantry first, no team weapons yet. Conscripts rush straight for the fuel point building right here, start capturing that. They will be engaged by the Pios, probably also Grens very soon. And the Comet Engineers will get the North fuel under their control uncontested. Pios actually spot the Conscripts before the Conscripts spot them, I think, with their extended vision range. Or no, they see the point being captured, so they're not going to go in yet. Waiting for Grenadiers to finish capturing up here in the north before going in. These conscripts are on their way towards the south. Pios may be going in a little prematurely right there. Take a little bit of damage. No Grenadiers available to support yet. They're just jumping into the green cover of the cemetery. Just kind of hovering there. Pios jump back into the yellow cover. Conscripts will simply hole up in the building. Bit of a standstill right there while both sides wait for more support to arrive, and both of them are going with 4 squads of infantry. Ooh, race for the building. Conscripts get there first. That is gonna hurt. Those Grenadiers have... Ooh, there it is. Actually got lucky on that first volley. Barely even did anything. Second volley is starting to stack up the damage, though. There goes that model. I don't think they're far enough from the building for the green cover to matter, and they will be forced to retreat right there. That early retreat is going to significantly weaken Black and Gold in early engagements against his opponent's heavy infantry-based opening. So that's going to hurt. Conscripts moving up on the flank of these Grenadiers to take this engagement will probably force a second retreat and start wrapping up territories in the middle of the map. Might open up a harassment opportunity south for these Pios, though. Combat Engineers working the cutoff, Grenadiers working the munitions. We'll probably have to circle back to deal with that. Clearly these Grenadiers are going to lose this engagement. And in fact, Sterling Archer has not even dropped a model anywhere yet, despite 2 retreats being forced for Black and Gold. Pios, however, will secure this building, so that may allow them to hold the line a little bit for a little while support arrives back out of the Oster base, but Grenadiers need to get back to the front line as quickly as possible if they're going to save the day. Wow, what is with the oddly loud, like, voice lines now sometimes? Like, most of the voices are at, like, the same volume, but then randomly one of the, like, super loud... I don't know. Shouldn't complain about irregularities in volume in this game.
Our headquarters has been improved. We can now build light mechanized infantry.
Because that's just tempting fate.
The bunker has been converted to an emergency medical station. Our position is under attack!
Grenadiers jump in this building, engaging against conscripts in the church. Bit of a standstill. Lots of units not engaging for a while as he was waiting for healing. A long time off the battlefield, in fact, allowing the Soviet player to take both fuel points, which is bad, and also cut off the munitions in the north until just now. Grenadiers are just now getting it back. Molotovs have been researched here by Archer, which he is using to try and deny buildings to his opponent. And Grenadiers engaging one at a time are going to take a bit of damage. Rifle grenade into the church deals not that much damage, though. That barely did anything. And Sterling Archer is actually going to stack 2 squads of conscripts in here, which there's almost no reason to do that, honestly, because there's not very many windows. 1 squad of conscripts can probably occupy both sides of this building's windows fully. These grenadiers, even at this range and in this cover, not doing great. Another rifle grenade into the church. Brings the building very low, but doesn't do that much damage to the infantry inside, who are going to exit the building just to be safe and charge into close range against these grenadiers and maybe even pick up this wipe. Came very close to doing so. Dropped to 1 model with a tiny sliver of health, but he does get to safety right there. The last remaining squad of grenadiers is going to try to hold the line against these conscripts. Probably will succeed, although a Molotov is being tossed. Nice dodge. Gets clear of the Molotov right there, and there's a retreat. The squad has no choice, falling dangerously low. Conscripts in the south, meanwhile, have forced the Pios that were in this building out, probably with a Molotov, and occupied the building themselves, trying to hold the line against these 2 squads.
Panzer Grenadiers standing by. Reinforcement complete.
Which are trying to move up to push these infantry out of the structure. Pio is moving up into close range, do not have a flamethrower, but the conscripts inside are low enough that they may be able to do enough damage just firing on the building. These conscripts probably won't be able to stick around for too much longer. But these grenadiers are forced from the cemetery with another Molotov. Conscripts win that engagement, start taking control of territories in the center, and in the north, these conscripts are taking everything under their control unopposed. But Panzer Grenadiers are on their way to reverse that situation. So that is Battle Phase 1 unlocked, Tier 2 built, and Black and Gold will start getting higher tech units, while Sterling Archer has gone guard motor coordination and purchased himself his first squad of guards, which have been nerfed this patch significantly against infantry.
We are ready to go, comrades.
So, should be interesting to see how they perform on this map. And he will, of course, also have access to the heavy mortar, and later on in the game, T-34-85s. If he does choose to go Tier 4, here's Tier 3 going up right now. I don't think I've seen Tier 4 yet, in fact, this patch. Wait, yes I have. I saw Katyusha and haven't seen anything else. So, yeah. Might see the new T-34-85 this game, which could be interesting to see that in action. Panzer Grenadiers take control of the north cutoff, but the munitions has been decapped. Overall, the situation doesn't look great for Black and Gold here. But he has managed to push up towards this house, which he's going to leave. Trying to get away from the Molotov right there. Here come the guards. They are upgrading with a DP machine gun now as well. And you can kind of see that the PTRS doesn't do the massive damage that it used to, but guards are still a significant threat to infantry as well. But the squad at least got away. Looks like he wasn't monitoring an engagement here in the north. I'm pretty sure this is a squad wiped by these Panzer Grenadiers. Yes, they do have 4 kills. That's that full squad of conscripts dead, as he was a little preoccupied with this engagement for the center. Meanwhile, both the Black and Gold's Grenadier squads do get out of this engagement alive, although with significant bleed. But overall, probably a win for Black and Gold, picking up that conscript squad in the north, reducing his opponent down to only 3 squads of conscripts remaining. And he'll have to think about what he wants to spend his manpower on. He has rushed straight to Tier 4, skipped Tier 3 entirely, surprisingly enough, despite how very strong the M5 seems to be this patch. He wants to jump straight into Tier 4, and he can't get T-34-85s yet, I don't think. Or wait, yes he can. Okay, this is a 0 CP thing now. Yeah, this is marked vehicle. What am I talking about? So he can jump straight into T-34-85s, which means you can actually get them out a lot earlier than you used to be able to, I guess. So that might be interesting, but he still has quite a bit of fuel to go before that's going to hit the field. And an AT gun is already being fielded in preparation for whatever the Soviets' first vehicle might be. Guards have to jump into some green cover, but even with green cover, I don't know if they can win this engagement against this many Grenadiers. There's a rifle grenade, and they have no choice but to retreat, almost wiping the squad. In fact, if he had placed that maybe just a little differently. So they will be forced off the field. These Grenadiers retreat maybe a little early. They could have kept them around to try and capture territory, even if they weren't that combat capable. Grenadier squad in the building has to jump out away from that Molotov, but support is on the way. This engagement could probably go either direction. Looks like it's going in Black and Gold's favor so far. Ooh, that retreat was a little premature though. Don't think he had to retreat yet. Without them able to absorb a little more damage from those conscripts. Honestly, it still looks like Black and Gold might take this engagement, especially with this squad disengaging to go capture that territory down there. The fuel will remain in Oster control. The Panzer Grenadiers have taken all territory in the north and continue their advance towards this cutoff. We're also going to see a fuel cache going up here by the Soviet base to try and hasten the arrival of his T-34-85. Won't make that much of a difference. I honestly think that that manpower could have been better spent on replacing his lost squad of conscripts, maybe some extra combat engineers, maybe a mortar, maybe guards. I don't know. I basically think a fuel cache is just not that worth it, but it will make his T-34 show up a couple seconds earlier, I guess.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Bios are forced to retreat. Grenadiers take control of some territories here in the south.
We have secured the sector.
And there's the AT gun, arriving well in advance of any Soviet vehicles. Black and Gold, feeling like his opponent has, I don't know, mostly just infantry that he needs to deal with. Will get himself further Panzer Grenadiers. You can, of course, always upgrade them with Panzer Shreks later. Going double Panzer Grenadiers on this map. When already in a pretty solid infantry lead, probably can't hurt. He's already picked up a wipe on this squad, so why not? He doesn't realize, of course, that his opponent has dropped 400 manpower now on fuel caches, which is really just too much.
All crews have been trained to repair
But
damaged
all right,
Keep moving. Stay low.
very close to the T-34-85, which his opponent has prepared for a little bit, but it should still have a pretty dramatic impact. Meanwhile, the fuel situation for the Oster, we will see battle phase 2 already unlocked, so looks like he's thinking of going tier 3. He's got the fuel for it. Maybe he's just microwing other things right now, but Pios are ready to build the structure here in the base. Some mines going down here in the north. The engagement for the south is won by the Soviets. We'll take control of some of that territory. Grenadiers move up to hold the line here. And the center VP also being taken by these Grenadiers, but mostly things have come to a standstill while the Soviet player waits for his tank. And the Oster player feels no need to be aggressive beyond the territory he currently holds. Happy to simply defend both fuel points in the north and in the south, which is a great situation for him to be in, of course. T-34-85 is on its way to the field. Whoa, that resub, Nelly, subscribed for 3 months in a row. Look at that. Nelly, thank you for that continued support. Haven't even seen you in a while, but good to know. Good to know you're still around. Good to know you're still a sub. Thanks for the resub. Much appreciated. 3 months, man. It's hard to believe I've been partnered for that long. It's a long time. There's the T-34. T-34 hits the field, making its way across the north. Chasing down these Panzer Grenadiers.
Marking and targeting of vehicles is now available.
This squad of Panzer Grenadiers upgraded with Panzer Shreks. Ooh, this crush maneuver. Oh, I thought that was perfect, but not quite. So far, having a great impact. It's just very tanky, and Black and Gold is not quite ready for it. This creates an interesting new dynamic where a T-34-85 can arrive before the 15-minute mark. It's actually kind of interesting, although it's only one T-34-85, and it's also... Uh-oh. Oh, he had to sacrifice that squad for the engine damage right there. I don't know if I think that was worth it if he can pick up this T-34 as a result. Maybe. Oh, that shot just missed, though. That miss might cost him the ability to destroy this. If it rounds the corner, Main gun destroyed. Trying to get clear. He needs to attack ground to finish it off. Attack ground! There it is! There it is. Perfect shot, and the tank is destroyed. Well worth the loss of that Grenadier squad. Of course, if he loses this AT gun as well, that starts to become very costly, but it looks like support is on its way. And the conscripts will be forced to retreat. So as long as Black and Gold can recover this AT gun, he has handled the arrival of that T-34 quite gracefully, and should be able to retake control of this game, especially as tanks of his own start to arrive. And he was not planning on Tier 3, jumping straight to Tier 4 here. There's Heavy Panzer Corps up, and he will have the fuel for a Panther, I assume, within the next 5 minutes or so. He needs to improve his fuel situation. He's currently cut off from the south fuel. North fuel is in Soviet hands, plus demo charge right here. So that could be problematic. Grenadiers will spot the combat engineers. This might sort of give away the fact that there's a demo charge right there. Looks like he's going to just go straight for the fuel and try and capture it without sweeping. Doesn't even actually have a minesweeper, in fact. I don't think he's hit any mines or demos yet. This might not even actually wipe the squad. Nope. Doesn't wipe the squad, so that's good. That may put the fear of demo charges in Black and Gold, but up until this point he has not been advancing beyond this fuel point anyway, so he's probably just going to hold the line here. Continue vying for the south fuel and center victory point and dealing with his opponent's offensives. We're going to probably see a new T-34 once the fuel is collected. Should be happening very soon. As the T-34s continue rolling out, the fuel caches will slowly start to pay for themselves in fuel gains. The timing of your first T-34 is not affected that much. The timing of your second, third T-34s, it starts to stack up and become more and more valuable over the course of the game, obviously. Almost looking at a wipe right there. Those Panzer Grenadiers shredding conscripts. I don't think... Okay. Never mind. I was about to say, I don't think a Panzer Grenadier squad has lost a single model yet, but then I remember those T-34 crush maneuvers. So they've done their fair share of bleeding. T-34-85 in production now, and with much better fuel income going here for Black and Gold, the Panther should be well on its way to arriving as well. This T-34 obviously going to be hitting the field before that first Panther, though, by a pretty significant margin. All Molotovs being dodged, rifle grenades being tossed in exchange. That was a pretty good one. That squad will be forced to retreat. Once that Molotov is clear, these two squads should be able to move down to support in this engagement. This squad is going to retreat a little early to prevent any unnecessary bleed. And these squads will move straight into the Molotov there to eat up the last little bit of damage, I guess, and then jump straight down into the engagement for the south. Their LMG. Rifle grenade into the structure. He will leave. Structure doesn't quite get destroyed, but it's no longer safe to garrison that building. And it looks like this engagement should go to those Grenadiers with their LMG. Those conscripts are not going to be able to compete with that at range. Boomhauer with the resub. Thank you for the resub, Boomhauer. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, you guys. Man, I wasn't expecting all these resubs. I really need to get an alert working properly. That's something I've been lazy about for a long time that I probably shouldn't be lazy about anymore. I really need to actually have working alerts. There's the Panther. Panther is on its way. Once that hits the field, we will see Black and Gold with a much more mobile counter to Soviet tanks. We won't have to rely on miracle engine damage plus AT gun shots. We'll actually be able to get aggressive, hunt, and destroy those T-34s. And he should have a pretty significant advantage over his opponent with Panzer Shreks to support, with the AT gun to support. His opponent has actually made a field gun, though, in preparation for his own opponent's tanks as well. T-34 bullying some Grenadiers off the field here in the south. Forces that retreat, gets a couple good shots in. Up to 4 kills now, pretty respectable. Nothing devastating, but having an impact for sure. Panzer Grenadiers in the north are about to be overwhelmed by these conscripts. Trying to hold the line, but clearly this struggle is futile. They have no choice but to retreat right there, taking a little bit of bleed in the process. And conscripts will start getting this fuel under control. We are seeing both fuel points contested. Black and gold holding the line in the south, just barely. T-34 has ceased to be aggressive, not really doing anything down here. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable overextending that. Guards, however, will clear the way, get this AT gun off the field, maybe even wipe it. There's a grenade, not quite on target though. It looks like it should get clear. Panzer Grenadiers plus Pios show up to the engagement, and it looks like those guards will probably be forced to retreat or at least disengage. PTRS shots are actually bringing the weapon down to half, but there's the retreat. Second squad of guards, Vet 3 engaging from the church. T-34 with the AT gun pushed back, moves up to take shots, but it's still, AT gun still has a bit of a line on the T-34, so it has to back off a little. And here comes the Panther. Panther not doing anything. He's just sitting right there, doesn't want to get too aggressive. Maybe he's not sure of his opponent's AT situation, and he certainly doesn't want to hit a mine. We will see a few mines. There's a Soviet mine right there.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
That's a Teller mine. So both of them do need to be wary of mines. Nice usage of mines by both sides here. Not so nice usage of minesweepers. Neither one of them has even purchased a minesweeper yet. It's 20 minutes into the game. It starts to become something you want to think about.
Katyusha now available.
And a Katyusha has been fielded. With the Katyusha and the T-34-85 now both being core units that you purchase out of Tier 4, this is going to... It's just an entirely different faction, honestly. It's going to produce a very different dynamic. Interesting. Molotov toss right there onto the tractor. Panzer Grenadiers jump into short range against these conscripts. There's the retreat. Nice dodge. He will continue working on the victory point. Worry about munitions later. Just try and maintain good clock control, which he's had very good clock control this entire game, maintaining a victory point lead. 374 to 310, putting black and gold in a pretty comfortable position here for the mid-game. Panther rolling onto the field, has a good way to manage the threat of T-34s, although he's not being aggressive with it. He hasn't even engaged with it yet. But he has it at his disposal if he should need it. Rifle grenade in the south does heavy damage to these conscripts. There's the retreat though, they will get away narrowly. Grenadiers also narrowly avoid an explosive death by that T-34-85, which has fallen to half health, making its way to re-engage in the middle, and the Katyusha has also not found an opportunity to fire yet. Black and gold doing a good job keeping his units very spaced out, not even aware that there's a Katyusha on the field, I don't think, but just generally keeping himself spaced out will protect him from the threat that Katyusha poses. And as a result, it looks like Sterling Archer is not even sure where to fire it. Another rifle grenade on those. Ooh, that was a really nasty one. Those guards. Katyusha fires one salvo and then cancels. It only fired 2 rockets. Yeah, that was bad. That reveals the fact that there's a Katyusha without actually inflicting any damage. So black and gold is aware of that unit's presence, and he may choose to try and find a way to hunt it down. He does have Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks. If he could maybe execute some sort of deep flank on that Katyusha, might be able to pick it up that way. Honestly, there's not that much protecting it against the Panther just driving up and killing it, other than just that one field gun, which is pulled all the way back to the base for some reason, and of course a smattering of Soviet mines. Molotov toss forces a retreat from those grenadiers. These two squads should be able to win this engagement in the north. The Panzer Grenadiers moving for the strategic point here and counter this cache. They're actually bringing it down pretty fast though, so they will be able to destroy that. Grenadiers working on the VP in the south are going to get that under their control. And this T-34 has been fully repaired.
What do you need?
Yes, comrade.
But no real engagements in the middle, and this Panther has just been completely idle this entire game. He's basically just using it as an AT gun, just sets it up facing towards the middle and then forgets about it. He's even got it on prioritized vehicles, so it's not even going to fire at these guards. There he goes. Top mount machine guns should be able to do pretty decent damage here. Guards sort of going down. I don't even know what they're trying to accomplish. Plink a little bit with the PTRSs, but it doesn't do much, and they will be forced to retreat.
We are ready to go, comrades.
Oh, chat.
They've opened up on us. Taking fire.
Combat engineers move to take control here in the south, supported by this T-34. Whoa, what happened here? What is that field gun doing? No, no, no. Okay, so much for that thing. Just like YOLO'd it into the fog of war. Katyusha trying to trade actually almost picks up that squad. This squad triggers a mine. Heavy bleed on these grenadiers as they advance, but they'll be alright. No wipes. Katyusha will be forced to back off a little bit, I suspect. If that Panther would go in. Or not. No Minesweeper yet, so that Panther can't be too aggressive without Minesweeper support. Losing that field gun hurts. We could see a steal attempt, or maybe he'll just destroy it. Either way, Soviet player may want to think about replacing that. Of course, there is a T-30, fresh T-34 on the field. Has to get it off the ice. There it goes. And, oh, Stuka Close air support just got called in. A Lightning War variety. So that T-34 is going to want to get away from that airstrike. Takes light damage there, but nothing too serious. It's going to come back for another 2 passes. And the strike zone ends somewhere. I wish it weren't so hard to see. Where does the strike zone end? Oh, right there. Katyusha's actually sitting in that a little bit. He needs to be careful with where he places his tanks. That's quite a big strike zone. The P-47 strike zone was reduced, but Stuka Close air support is perfectly fair and balanced, so they didn't touch that. So they didn't touch that strike zone. Second pass doesn't do much of anything. It's going to circle back around.
Your orders, comrade. Make it quick.
We are awaiting orders.
These 2 squads.
The guards here.
We are bleeding, comrade.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Ooh, that wipe. G43 is being upgraded on Grenadiers to help in engagements against conscripts a little bit, I guess. We see 1 squad with those, 2 squads with LMGs, so mostly LMGs, but he threw 1 squad with G43s out just for those, just for a little more medium range firepower. The field gun has not been destroyed. He should probably think about destroying that if he's not going to take it. It's still just sitting there in the center. Panther moves to engage against the T-34 here in the south. And it's pulling back to safety. This T-34, a little over half. Both of them need to start thinking about repairs. Of course, he does have access to self-repair, but his munition situation is not great. We will see guards successfully recovering the AT gun here in the middle. Victory point situation definitely better for black and gold. Fuel situation better as well. Soviet player definitely needs to make something happen if he's going to turn this game around. With a Panther and a Tiger on the field, that may prove difficult.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Of course, there can only be one Tiger on the field at any given time now, so that's something that's interesting.
The sector has been cut off.
Katyusha firing, trying to clear out some infantry here in the middle. We'll force some retreats, but still no wipes. So far, it's only got one kill. So yeah, Katyusha hasn't done a whole lot this game. Not getting a whole lot of value out of that investment. We're going to see Black and Gold taking a lot of map control. Soviet player really struggling to turn this game around, I think in large part due to his overinvestment into fuel caches. I think
The enemy is encroaching
the
on
early
our
loss of
territory.
his first T-34 really hurt. A lot of little things here and there, making it difficult for him to execute as we move into the late game. Ooh.
Territory secure. Someone help me!
The sector is at risk.
Those guards will retreat.
We have 200 points
New
remaining.
guards moving up to take control of the center. Almost all Soviet forces being concentrated on engagements for the center is going to actually make it easier for the Oster to set up a coordinated defense if he doesn't spread himself out a little more. I don't know. The Oster actually has a quite mobile force now with a Tiger and a Panther on the field available to protect both flanks. Soviet player just has to execute extremely well, probably on multiple fronts if he's going to make any headway. Thus far it doesn't look like it's going to happen though. Maybe if he sent the bulk of his forces to engage against one high priority target, like the Panther for example, swarming it with both T-34s, try to get engine damage on it, throw a marked vehicle on it, something like that, he might be able to produce a bit of a momentum swing. But so far he is accomplishing nothing anywhere. This is a live game, Limpy.
Fresh meat has arrived. We are awaiting orders.
Yeah, this is what was on top of the ladder. There weren't that many ladder games being played right now for some reason. I don't know. It's weird. Ooh, a couple shots on the rear of the Panther right there exposes itself, maybe opening up an opportunity for those T-34s. Marked vehicle thrown on the Panther, but the T-34s are not going to chase. I don't know, I feel like that was maybe kind of a now or never sort of situation against that Panther. I don't know if he's going to get another opportunity like that, and marked vehicle is quite expensive. He won't be able to afford to do that very many more times this game. But at least holding control of the South VP will slow the clock. With only 150 VPs left, it's getting quite urgent for him to figure something out. He's also 20 pop cap behind, which means
Mortar team reports ready for combat.
the means of turning the game around he has are pretty limited. Has to try and capitalize on those opportunities as well as he can.
Supply sector under attack.
I don't know what those Panzer Grenadiers are thinking though. Maybe they're not being monitored right now. They almost get wiped. A couple lucky PTRS shots and that could go down. All those PTRS shots on the retreat. Oh, and it still doesn't quite get away though. Thought we were about to witness a miracle. Unfortunately, no.
More of our troops
So a bit of a turnaround there for Sterling Archer. Vet 3 Panzer Grenadiers being taken out on the retreat definitely helps.
We have a new T-34
And there's a heavy mortar being
standing
fielded. If this could pick up a few wipes, the manpower situation might turn back in his favor. Tiger plus Grenadiers moving to clean up a fuel cache over here. And there is a third T-34 now on the field. With 3 of these, the Soviet player definitely has the tools he needs to take on enemy Axis heavy tanks.
by 120
One at a time.
mortars are now available for
Can't go in
deployment.
too hard on a coordinated Oster
Enemy
front line.
forces capturing supply sector.
Conscripts getting gunned down by Panzer Grenadiers. What are they doing? Not being monitored, they will be destroyed. T-34 trying to pick up a Grenadier squad over here, almost nails it, but switches targets to the Tiger. Heavy mortar comes close to wiping the squad as well, but it gets away with one man remaining. Of course, they do now have to retreat through guards in the middle of the map. That grenade, though, bundle grenade, almost wipes these guards. Not quite, though. Ooh, that early retreat. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to the fact that he could pick up a wipe right here. Needs to switch targets. Needs to stop running in the wrong direction. That looks like it might get away because of that miss micro. That should have been a dead Grenadier squad for sure, and he lets it get away. That is a shame that he let that happen. But he will wipe out this AT gun, and he also has two T-34s going in hard on the Panther here in the south. Stupid close air support is available to be called in if he feels like he needs it, which he kind of maybe does. Field gun firing, T-34s firing. It looks like that the Panther might get away by just a tiny... Oh, what is he doing? Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to kill his own T-34s right there. That was close. Panther stops retreating and needs to get that thing back to safety. Those T-34s are not giving up the chase. Or are they maybe? I don't know. No. Panther looks like it's probably dead. Doing some weird maneuvers right there. This T-34 is destroyed by a Panzerschreck squad, though, so pretty good trade, though, still, even for Sterling Archer. Panther for one T-34 definitely goes in his favor. The Tiger still holding strong here in the north, and it looks like the engagement for the middle has gone in Black and Gold's favor. He will start getting those points back under his control. Panzerschreck squad looks like it will be... Oh, no! Oh, no, he was clicking in Stuka close air support, and the crush maneuver was perfectly executed in the meantime, and the full squad gets wiped. I don't know whose favor this game is going in right now. PopCap is actually swung into the Soviet favor. He's ahead by about 15. 15 PopCap in the lead. Pretty good situation to be in. But way behind for VPs, so he needs to turn the territory situation around as rapidly as he can. And Black and Gold needs to think about ways to keep his momentum going. He doesn't want to get shaken by the fact that he's starting to lose some high priority targets. He has lots of resources in the bank. He definitely has not lost control of this game. He just needs to step his game up a little bit and shut his opponent down before the situation does get out of control. Stuka close air support dealing nice damage to these tanks. They need to pull completely clear of the strike zone, because that one almost got destroyed right there. Tiger scares off some guards. Panzer Grenadiers scare off some conscripts. And it looks like the center of the map will remain in Oster control until that Tiger can be cleaned up. What's that shooting at? Oh. Retreating conscripts will get away from the stupid close air support. Free and clear, and the ability will end. Katyusha, meanwhile, firing here in the center. Doesn't do too much.
Suffering vehicle losses.
Yes, comrade.
Grenadiers working on the south, taking control of this VP and munitions points down here.
Troops ready for action.
Getting loud out there.
Standing by.
T-34 here.
Full squad wiped, trying to repair a T-34 here in the middle, and capture of this victory point will be halted, and it looks like the Soviet player is just going to give up entirely. With the Katyusha destroyed here in the south and only two heavily damaged T-34s left, I guess Sterling Archer didn't think he had what it takes to take on this Tiger. I'm not entirely sure the game was over, to be honest. The PopCap was actually dead even, but Sterling Archer's spirit was broken. He was behind by 200 victory points, so he decided to simply throw in the towel, and that's the game. GG, 40 minutes. And Axis wins.